Welcome back. You're still watching The Money Show, and as promised, it's the Spend with TMS segment. We'll be talking about your travel plans today. Given that COVID-19 cases, even in India, are on a rise, should you be traveling across the globe or within India? Which are the areas, which are the geographies and countries which are corona-free right now? Which places should you visit? What care should you take while traveling? We'll be discussing all of that. And do remember that PM Narendra Modi had also tweeted just a few days ahead of Holi that he will not be attending the Holi Milan this time around, given that the coronavirus scare has spread, especially in the capital of New Delhi. There are a whole host of cases that have been detected over the last couple of days, not only in Delhi but in Jaipur, in Telangana as well. And not just PM, but even Home Minister Amit Shah sort of echoed a similar sentiment. He also tweeted saying that he will stay away from Holi celebrations this time around, and he advised people also to stay safe. So let's discuss a bit more about the travel plans. We have with us Sankalp Agarwal. He's the co-founder, CEO of TravelTriangle.com. Sankalp, hi, good evening, and welcome on board. Firstly, I'm sure many people are smart enough to sort of reschedule or cancel their plans, especially if they are traveling to or were planning to travel to any of these countries where coronavirus has really spread and the outbreak has really worsened in the recent couple of days and weeks. What are the last minute measures they can take, perhaps? The ones who have still not cancelled their travel plans or their bookings, what is the procedure they should take in order to minimize their costs, minimize their losses?
So there are two kind of people. First, who are actually going out and are a little more on the adventurous side and want to go with their plans, right? So for them, I think there are a lot of precautions which one can take to avoid infection from the coronavirus, which varies from washing your hands regularly to wearing up masks, etc., because the travel is unavoidable. In case they are looking for cancellation or something like that, then they should talk to the inventory owners, and if they can reschedule their trip or postpone their trips out there and such trips can be refunded, then it will be a best outcome for them. These are the two options out there. And still, there are some destinations where coronavirus is not there, like Mauritius, Seychelles, etc., where travel is still possible.
Right. But tell me something, are airlines and travel aggregators and portals, are they cooperating to these cancellations, or are passengers likely to lose their money?
So I think it's a new thing which has happened. So everyone is trying in the spirit to cooperate as much as they can. So I would say 80% of the cases with good cooperation, things are getting solved. 20% are still rough edges around the corner, which will get solved with some time. So this is the first time such a macro event is happening across the globe. So everyone is catching up and learning by doing kind of scenario.
Okay, and for those who are planning a travel, not just in the near term, but even over the next 3-4 months, they are also a little bit wary, a little bit worried at this point in time as to which countries they are, which countries is it okay to travel to. So just to be safe and to have a safe travel, what is the kind of countries or areas they can look at right now without having a risk of the virus?
So I think right now the countries which we are seeing an uptick even during this time are the ones which are island destinations. As I mentioned, Maldives, Mauritius, Seychelles, etc., which are good for honeymoon and also for family. So similar island destinations, more island destinations can be seen. But typically the countries which are at the highest of their tourist attractions, right? Those are seeing more cases of coronavirus. Like from Dubai, from Singapore, from Thailand, right? Which are the top 3 countries out there, right? So all these countries are seeing more coronavirus cases, but Mauritius, Maldives, Seychelles, and more island destinations can be traveled to.
And for those for whom travel cannot be cancelled, or it's a very important emergency or a work emergency or in a personal capacity, what are some precautions they can take if the travel is completely unavoidable?
In terms of precautions, I think WHO has given out their guidelines. UNICEF has given out the guidelines for the kids as well. Those guidelines typically include, like, first is you should wear up the masks, right? There's a certain quality of the mask which avoids coronavirus, right? You should wash your hands, and you should and do that regularly. And for the kids as well, you should carry up sanitizers with you, so to use them up, and keep away from the public places, and try to be more in the private setting at your homes itself to avoid infection. So that these are the bits, and then these websites of WHO, UNICEF are the best for the adults and the kids to find more stuff around the same.
Sankalp, what about local travel? Are you seeing any sort of dent or any kind of dip in local travel as well, in domestic travel?
So domestic travel is seeing an uptick at this point of time, what we are seeing. But yes, there is a macro mindset in mind of the people. What if the coronavirus happens here? What if the airport is infected? What should I do about it? So while we are seeing a peak out there, there's some drop off of like 5-10% because of this pragmatism. But overall, domestic tourism is seeing a high.
Overall, the numbers are showing that domestic travel has seen an uptick, even though there has been a bit of a rise in the number of corona cases detected in India, and some are also suspected, which are currently under tests and under sort of observation. Thank you so much, Sankalp, for joining us and for clearing out some of our concerns and doubts with regard to travel plans, whether it's international or domestic. Once again, thank you for joining us. With that, we're going to wrap it up on The Money Show. Thank you very much for tuning in.